Day of Atonement. One of my favorite experiences was on Yom Kippur about 10 years ago. I am not Jewish, but I find this to be one of the most meaningful religious holidays. I envisioned myself standing on a stage in a large auditorium. Facing the empty seats, I began to pray that all those whom I had injured or wronged at any time in my existence would please come to the auditorium and take a seat. I wanted an opportunity to express my deepest remorse to them all. Instantly, the seats began to fill up, until the auditorium was about 3/4 full. I was astonished and ashamed to see so many people there. Then, I began to talk about my regrets, my spiritual search, and the growths that I felt I was making, and I apologized to each person for any wrongdoing for which I was responsible. I asked them to forgive me if they could. After I had spoken and thanked them for coming, they all stood up in front of their seats, held hands, and sang, "Let there be peace on earth." When the last note faded, they all disappeared as quickly and quietly as they had come, leaving me standing there on the stage in awe. Donna West, when repentance is heartfelt, and when forgiving and being forgiven is sincere, then the slate is wiped clean, the auditorium is emptied. When there is no urge to hurt anyone or anything, there will finally be peace on earth. Angels and Demons. I was at one of your conferences in November 2010. After lunch, I returned tired and with a headache. I was very concerned that falling asleep was unavoidable and feared that I'd be the snoring person whom someone would have to wake. After settling down on the floor, I thought, oh no, I am going to fall asleep. I did not go to this conference to nap. Much to my chagrin, I was dozing in and out, but I did manage to go somewhere. I was in a hall with books, and I heard Dr. Weiss say something about pulling out a book from a shelf. One floated into my hands and opened to a page with a golden shimmering name written in large script at the top of the page. The name was Lucifer. It was not the most comforting thought, but I was too tired to judge or block the information. In this life, I was educated in Catholic schools from grade school to high school. At the age of approximately 9, sitting in my classroom, I can recall being taught about Satan and hell. I simply did not agree with the view of the being taught about Satan and hell. I simply did not agree with the view of the nun. Wisely, I did not speak my views. I did believe in God. I knew the tale of Christ but could not identify with him, and I did not go to church unless my mother made me. As an adult, I am very spiritual but not religious. I believe in and communicate with Christ, God, and the angels. I have read sections of the Bible, although my views are not necessarily in agreement with it. I have come to understand that Lucifer was misunderstood in the Bible, but that he did start the ball rolling in a negative direction, a perspective I had blocked for years. Here is what I was told during my regression at your workshop. Lucifer was the closest to perfection, but he was informed that he could not return to the ultimate source because of the great separation. As a whole group of souls, we decided to separate from God. Lucifer was heartbroken over the separation, then he became angry, and out of anger or vanity, he tried to hurt God by hurting himself. It was a temper tantrum of biblical proportions. Lucifer was not the evil Satan as portrayed in the Bible. I do not believe that he sits on people's shoulders and tempts them into wrongdoing, contrary to the beliefs of some my friends. However, we are all responsible for our actions, even angels. Because of my fatigue, I could only witness what came to me that day. The next scene was shot and in high definition, with vivid colors. Looking down, I saw my white, male, bare feet, which were clean and pristine, walking on pretty grass. I looked up, and a voluptuous woman with long, curly, blonde hair was walking toward me. Eve, I thought. I believe this Eve was the one from the biblical story of the Garden of Eden. In my view, Adam and Eve were angels. In a story that was channeled through me, I learned that a normal human body could not survive the change to Earth's heavy dimension. This is partly the reason angels were called upon for the job. This deviated from the biblical story. The tree of knowledge was a choice, it was not forbidden. It was God's gift to understand what love is not and to lead us to better understand what love is. Adam and Eve left Eden and went on to other places out of necessity. They did not leave because God yelled at them to get out. The guided meditation at your workshop allowed me not only glimpses from a book in the Heavenly Hall of Records but also possibly a past life regression to witness Eve. Information regarding Adam and Eve, and now Lucifer continues to present itself in some form or another and keeps calling. Lucifer continues to present itself in some form or another and keeps calling for my attention. Helen, during times of fatigue, just as in dreams, our everyday waking consciousness is less vigilant. It does not filter so strictly, which allows the subconscious mind to emerge. In transcending the rational and literal training of her Catholic schools, Helen could experience a deeper and richer meaning to the characters, stories, and legends. Sometimes, ignorance or unwise decisions are mistakenly viewed as evil. We learn and grow from all our choices, both good and bad. To understand love in all its manifestations, even by appreciating what love is not, seems like a divine gift. To be yelled at does not. Could you truly appreciate light if you never? Soulmate, this is a part of Zindagi Ki Roshni consultancy. It has been established for those who have lost someone and for those who are very sad in their life. About 100 PDF books and 20 short audio books of this topic will be sent to those who join it. This data will be sent to their email or WhatsApp. If you want to join this organization, then please send WhatsApp message to this number.